What is good, y'all? It is Cowboy, the beatboxing cowboy. And here, I have a very long video that I've been wanting to make for a long time. It's about how I view the game and how it's relevant to how the community is reacting to Void 3.0. It's all about buildcrafting. This is the reason why I play this game, the reason I make TikToks, which YouTube community, if you're not aware, I never made it aware to you guys, but I post on TikTok now. I've stopped making YouTube videos because I want to make shorter content, just so people can see something. Usually my build videos would have 3 builds in it, and those builds I could post on TikTok very easily. And I honestly made those videos longer just so it could appeal to how YouTube likes it. But I didn't like that. It wasn't how I wanted to make my videos. And also, I have a Discord. I'm very active in this Discord, and so I can't really record funny moments videos anymore until I get a PC, which is a plan of mine. I have a full-time job, a set schedule full-time job, I should say. So I'm most active on the weekends, but I'm on every night, and I'm at least playing for a few hours every day. So I never left Destiny, I just left this channel, and I want to apologize to y'all. With that out of the way, let's get into this video. I don't know the origin of this term, but I've seen it be used in the Destiny community, and so what I've interpreted as build crafting, it is you take a build and you craft it, or you craft a build. That's it. That's build crafting. But where do you begin? That changes for everyone. I like to begin with the fantasy or the exotic. For example, the Nothing Manacles. I've recently started using these, and in this background footage you can see how fast I'm getting my grenade. And you may be thinking, whoa, isn't that broken? How, like, the tracking doesn't work? That means it's bad, right? Well, not necessarily. You still have the other portion of the stuff that does work. And another thing about it not working is that when it does work, it just gets better. So if you want to start investing it into something, you want to invest it when it's not at its best. Because if you invest while it's at its best, it can't get any better. So that's why I invest when it's not working the way it should be, so I can get the most benefit for when it is working and I know where to go. And I can be the first one to be like, hey, this is how you're supposed to use it. I've been using it for a long time, even when it wasn't working. In the footage right now, you can see what I'm bringing to Void 3.0, and you can see my build as well. I'm just showing off some of the gear. And for me, that's what build crafting is. Now, let me give you an example of that. Here we have my Titan. This is the gear I'm bringing on the day 1 Void 3.0 Witch Queen. And you see I just have all these Void weapons all centerizing around the fact that I'm going to be using Void. This is my most optimized build I have. Actually, I've updated this build, so it gets better, and the stats are perfect. It's all about me using my abilities as fast as possible, which is going to synergize with the Void 3.0, because as you can see on the screen right now, Bungie is making Bastion an offensive bulwark. Bastion, creating a barricade, generates overshield for you and your allies. Those bunkering behind the shield will regenerate overshield over time and extend the overshield's duration. Offensive bulwark, while you have an overshield or you're inside Ward of Dawn, grenade charges significantly faster and your grenades have increased damage. You also have an additional shield throw for your Sentinel super. Now, this is huge, because when I can combine the fact that I pop a barricade, I get an overshield. Now this overshield gives me extra grenade and melee damage, or extra grenades and more melee damage. It works perfectly with this build. I throw up my grenade, I get more melee energy and melee damage and barricade health, so I can just keep repeating these over and over. That is build crafting to me. I see this and I want to enhance it. So how do I do that? I grab things and I know what they do. I get Fireball, I get Elemental Charge, I get Elemental Ordnance, I get a Heavy-Handed, and I get Double Utility mod. And I know every percentage that everything will do. That firepower, 15%. Hands-on, 50%. Utility kickstart, 2 of them will grant me 25%. And you can see this in my gameplay as well. Just watch the screen. You'll see I have 2 charge of light, boom, 50% of my melee back. I throw my grenade, 15 back. I pop my barricade, 25% back. I get melee kills. Oh, look, I get 50%, but I get more because of how Middle Tree Sentinel works. And I know how these things work because I test them in environments where they can be tested and produce similar results. I'm not going to test everything inside of a GM because that would just be wasting my time and someone else's time. The time I can waste in a GM is when I know it has been perfected. And that is a huge thing when it comes to my builds. Rarely have I perfected a build, and this is a build I have perfected. Now I just have to wait for Void 3.0 to come out to further enhance it because we have aspects. Now, aspects and fragments, I should say, because those enhance builds even further. With Stasis, we got a taste of it. Not everyone learned how to buildcraft on their own, and they usually just copy their favorite YouTuber, which nothing is wrong with that. Go ahead and copy your favorite YouTuber, your favorite streamer, because they probably see something like, hey, this gives me damage resistance, this is what I need for this activity. I don't need a special stuff that this random TikToker is doing, and that's fair enough. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make a build that I can just throw on when I want to have some fun or just do something silly. When I want to throw grenades, punch people, drop barricades everywhere, and just say, hold the line with my friends, that's what I'm going to do. This is how I enjoy the game, buildcrafting. Because not everything is a GM. Some things are just a normal strike. A normal strike that, hey, you know what? It's a void burn and it's grenadier. Let me just throw in this build and just have these insane nades that do a ton of damage on Titan. That is what buildcrafting is to me, and I hope you can understand that. Now, I'm going to show you some builds. Hunter specifically, but Hunter is going to go last because I want to talk about them the most. So, first things first, we're going to go over to Cowboy, my Warlock. My Warlock's name is Cowboy. You don't really have to think about it too much. And we're going to talk about Vortex nades. Even though I'm using nothing manacles, we're going to swap this off. We're going to do a whole refresh on this build. So let's get into it. Okay, so we're on Cowboy. What's the first thing that we do? Well, first, we know that I want to make a Vortex grenade build. And we should use information that we have from Bungie on how Vortex nades are going to work next season. From what we know, Vortex nades can last longer, and they can suck enemies in when built properly. Also, with Chaos Accelerants, we can make them even more effective. So, let's look at all of these things.
Quit chasing and look for something better, but the smile that she shows makes me a go-getter. I haven't gone as far as asking if I could get with her. I just play love by ear and hope she gets the picture. I'm shooting for her heart, got my finger on the trigger. She can be my fraud, and I can be her nigga, but
Before anyone says anything about buildcrafting, I realize I make a mistake while making this build. I do double grenade kickstart. Double grenade kickstart does not stack with firepower, but I'm just going to show off my weapons. I have this judgment I like this Glarus Force. I'm probably going to replace it with the full come next season, and I have Twin-tailed Fox because Twin-tailed Fox suppresses enemies, which will work with Void 3.0, so maybe there is a fragment that will work great with my build in the future. And the Endless Vortex build. Now let's watch some gameplay of it. In this clip, I'm showing off how Ashes to Assets work. Ashes to Assets give you a lot of super energy if you kill high value targets. Much my super bar, it just boosts up. So if there's enemies that can die real easily and they're high value targets, it's great to use an Ashes to Assets like a mod. Now with trash ads, it works well too, but it's just, it may not be needed for those trash ads. You still get a chunk of your energy if there's a bunch of them, so if there's a bunch of enemies in front of you that are all trash ads, I would recommend using this still. On to the next part. Now I come to Altar of Sorrows. Altar of Sorrows works great because other people may be trying their build, so you can see if your guys synergizes well together. I mix my Vortex nade. I feel like a big dummy for doing it, but in this area I'm testing out how fastly I can get my grenade, especially when I'm facing targets that won't die instantly to my nade. Yeah, there's a bunch of trash ads for my super, but for the real test, I need to throw my Vortex nade and see how well it does against them and how fast I get my grenade. And lo and behold, I can get my grenade if I just get kills and I charge up my nade like I'm supposed to. Now this will only get better in the future. So I can have this Nova Bomb build, but I'll most likely be using Nova Warp because Nova Warp will have the suck effect as well. Same with Vortex nades, but I do not really like Vortex super. I think it's kind of boring. I'd rather use the Slova Bomb. And for Nova Warp, that's just way better for ad clear in my opinion. So that's how I would build craft the Endless Vortex. What does it mean to become the Night Stalker? For me, it means to invest more into the invisibility and weaken aspects of a hunter on Void. And I honestly see what Bungie has done for Void Hunters to be exactly that. Trappers ambush. Purrs can activate Quickfall to spend their melee charge and dive into the ground, creating a smoke cloud upon impact. Enemies caught in the cloud are weakened and allies become invisible. In addition, snare bombs, upon attaching to surfaces or enemies, cause nearby allies to become invisible, which I think is a great thing. This makes sense for hunters. Hunters are always about this, and so with Omnioculus, this just works great. And you can combine this with Stylus Executioner. Defeating a void debuff target, weakened, suppressed, or volatile, grants invisibility and true sight. While invisible, and after a Stylus Execution, your next melee weakens enemies. So that is just an infinite chain. And you can use that with your super, your grenade, and your melee. The only thing that doesn't apply a debuff, to my knowledge, is just going to be your dodge. But you're using your dodge so you can get back your melee. So that is the perfect cycle in my eyes. That is how master buildcrafting works. You just have a constant cycle and a constant loop. And with exotics like Graviton Forfeit and Omnioculus, Aeons, these are all going to be great options to use with Void 3.0 Hunter. And Omnioculus has been the best, but I don't know if it's going to be the best going into the future. If you're going to be up close and personal with enemies, you would want to use Graviton Forfeit. That will give you more melees, more faster. I don't know. This is just how my brain works when it comes to this game. Even though with Omnioculus you do have the 200 energy melee energy cap, it's just, is that cap worth it when you get your grenade so much faster for just existing in the game and not having to do anything for it? The Omnioculus does grant resistance, which is great and is the strongest part about it in my opinion, but is it going to be the best when you can just constantly be invisible and not have to worry about enemies shooting you at all? That's just how I see it. And if you guys are wondering, what am I doing currently? Well, today I've been farming for a Graviton Forfeit all day, but I've been super unlucky. That is my goal, to get the perfect Graviton Forfeit build for Void 3.0. I also want to start investing into Khepri Sting. I think that's going to be a great exotic to use with this, pairing it all together. Because if you can somehow get the Khepri Sting bonus melee damage and the weakened all stacking at the same time, you might be able to do a very powerful 1-2 punch build with this. That's just how I see all of this. I don't know. And, oh, Orpheus Rigs. Orpheus Rigs are going to be insane. You're going to have one of the highest DPS supers just for having Orpheus Rigs on. And on top of this, Tether, if you're using the one that lasts longer, you can extend its duration by getting kills enemies, which is even better. If you're watching the gameplay right now in the background, you're seeing I'm making a lot of orbs with using Orpheus with a new stasis mod, which is going to be here next season, which I honestly recommend you guys start trying out if you're really good with Tether. I'm personally not. A bunch of my shots, but I'm still making a ton of orbs. And let's say I was hitting my shots, I would be making even more orbs. I've done this in the Lost Sector before. I was able to make, I think, 27, 28 orbs off one super. This is just something we have to wait and see. That's what I'm going to say. We have to wait and see for the future. I just hope this video has helped you understand how I see things in this game. And if you have any questions on like a specific build or trying to achieve a specific thing, no. Especially let me know in my Discord or on my TikTok. My TikTok is Cowboy Beatbox, just like my YouTube. And my Discord is linked on my TikTok. I'd be surprised if I have a new viewer who's joining me for the first time and this is your first video. Welcome. Don't expect too many videos from me from any time soon, unless something big happens. Then I will be making a video, but you can find me on TikTok at Cowboy Beatbox, or you can find me in my Discord every day. Peace out, gamers.